Okay, you are not going to believe this story because we're about to talk about the Catholic Church's first millennial saint. They call him God's influencer, and trust me, you're about to find out why.
So, patron saint of what? If you had to guess, what would a millennial saint be the patron saint of? Avocado toast? Crippling student loan debt? Well, the actual answer is way, way better.
Yep, the internet. He is on track to become the patron saint of the internet. I'm not even kidding. The Vatican has officially logged on.
Hey, before we go any further, if you like wild stories like this, do us a favor and smash that like button and subscribe. We drop these explainers all the time. All right, let's meet the guy behind the hype.
So who is this guy? Who is this teenage saint?
You know, when you picture a saint, you're probably thinking of some dude from a super old painting, right? All serious, maybe holding a skull. Carlo Acutis? Nah, this kid looks like he could be in your coding class.
Okay, so here's the quick bio. His name is Carlo Acutis. He was born in the UK but lived in Italy. And he tragically died from leukemia back in 2006. He was only 15 years old. A completely normal, modern kid whose life was cut way, way too short.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Carlo was a legit computer programming prodigy. And what did he do with those skills? He used them for his faith. He built a whole website to document miracles from all over the world. So yeah, he was literally God's influencer.
So how does a teenage programmer from Italy actually become an official saint? Well, you can kind of think of it like leveling up in a video game. Let's call it the sainthood speed run.
So here's how the speed run works. Level 1, die holy. Kind of obvious, right? Next, you get beatified. Think of this as like saint in training mode. Carlo unlocked that back in 2020. But to win the whole game, you got to beat the final boss. You have to perform miracles. And not just one, 2 of them. You pull that off, boom, canonized. You're in the club.
But here's the thing. You can't just say you did a miracle. The Vatican needs proof. They need the official receipts, you know? And Carlo? Oh, he delivered.
So, miracle number 1 takes us all the way down to Brazil.
So there was this kid in Brazil who was suffering from something called an annular pancreas. It's a really serious birth defect. Basically, your pancreas is all messed up. The family prayed to Carlo for his help. And get this, a little while later, doctors confirmed the boy was totally, inexplicably cured. Miracle 1, check. All right, miracle number 2. This one happened way more recently, and it involves a university student from Costa Rica. This is wild. A student has a horrific bike accident in Florence. We're talking catastrophic head trauma. Doctors gave her very little chance of survival. Her mom goes to Carlo's tomb and prays. And just days later, the student starts breathing on her own and begins to recover at a speed that doctors literally called medically unexplainable.
And that was it. That was the final piece of the puzzle. Just this past May, Pope Francis himself gave it the official stamp of approval. He recognized that second miracle, and that cleared the final hurdle for Carlo's sainthood.
Okay, so a tech-savvy teenager is about to be a saint. Cool story, but so what? Why does this actually matter right now?
Well, for starters, look at this number, 1 million. That's roughly how many people, how many pilgrims have already visited his tomb in Assisi. That is a crazy amount of attention. And here's the really important part. A huge chunk of those visitors, they're young people. We're talking teenagers, college students. They're connecting with his story in a way they just don't with some saint from like the 14th century. Which brings us to the big, big question here. At a time when, let's be honest, organized religion is really struggling to connect with younger generations, the church has stumbled upon a potential icon who wore Nikes and played video games. So, can this millennial saint, this God's influencer, actually change the conversation?
It's a really fascinating question, right? Is this the future of faith, or is it just a viral moment that'll fade away? What do you think? Seriously, drop a comment below. We actually read them. And hey, if you dug this explainer, make sure you're subscribed for more. Thanks for hanging out.